So it's been a minute since I've actually updated you guys, and it is Friday the 13th. So happy Friday the 13th to everybody. Hope you guys had a good one. Mine was significantly uneventful, which was interesting. But basically, so what I've been able to accomplish is I have made more progress, and I'm almost done with The Good House by Tananarive Due, and I am about halfway done with my book for TikTok that I had wanted to read. So yeah, but for right now, I need to edit another video that I did this past week, basically since about Sunday-ish. And then from there, I'm gonna probably spend the rest of my night finishing The Good House because I only have about 2.5 hours left of the audiobook, so I can crank through that before I go to bed tonight, and then we can finally move on to our next Blackoween thing, which I'm actually going to take care of right now just because I would like to at least know what I'm getting into and kind of pick what I want to start tomorrow. So we already have completed the book with traveling thing, so we're going to go ahead and roll for our next prompt for Blackoween. Alright, so here is our list. We are still looking at the laissez-faire group, and we are able to, I think, get to the lowest amount of, like, the lowest level, basically, with number 6, which is a free space. So this basically means anything, pretty much anything will fit this. Ooh, perfect. I got it. I got one. Okay, so it's not really crime fiction, but it is by a Black female author. And it's one of my 23 for 23 that I wanted to read this year, which is Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. We're gonna go with that. So I only picked this one because I have a couple other books in mind that I'm waiting to read until closer to Battle of the Bookish Time, which is coming up here really soon. But plus I wanted to do something a little outside of what I've been reading recently, which has been a lot of like fantasy, a lot of like dark, mysterious things, and so something a little bit more cozy, a little bit more, you know, fun. I don't know, something a little bit cuter, like a romance. It sounds really good. If I don't read this, I think I could also pick When No One Was Watching by Alyssa Cole. Ooh, wait. Okay, scratch that. We're gonna actually read When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole because at least that has some crime aspects to it. I do want to read this. I just feel like, especially for Blackoween, I need to focus on Black crime fiction authors in some capacity, and so it's either that or I go with a Brandon Massey that I don't even have. I would have to like borrow either through Scrib, Libby, or my library. So we'll put this one back. We'll read this one another time, hopefully before the end of the year. But yeah, we're gonna go with When No One Was Watching by Alyssa Cole instead because I want to stay on theme as much as I can, and I don't currently have it for anything right now because it's not even a part of my normal TBR. It's not a part of anything at this moment in time. So we're gonna go with that and start that up tomorrow, and I think I can get the audiobook through Scribd as well for that one, so we're gonna go with that. But for right now, I need to go edit my video that I need to do for tonight, and I will speak to you guys when I've made a little bit more progress in things, and when I've especially finished, you know, The Good House and started When No One Is Watching. Good morning, everybody. Actually afternoon. It's just afternoon on Monday, and I realized last time I did not actually roll for Spookoplothon because I had also let The Good House be for Spookoplothon and also Blackoween. So basically, I finished The Good House. I gave it, what did I give it? Oh, I don't even think I actually rated it. I was gonna give it like a 4 out of 5 stars. The ending was a little odd to me. I didn't care as much for the ultimate ending as I thought I was going to, but that's okay. It is what it is. Just not my personal preference of how I would have probably ended the story, but it is what it is. So finished that, so I now have my first prompt for Blackoween all taken care of, and we are gonna also do our next roll for Spookoplothon. Now I would like to be able to get When No One Is Watching as the book that I use for this, but I think it's going to depend on what exactly the prompt we get for Spookoplothon is. So last time we ended on Are We Out of the Woods Yet? So let's see what we end up getting this time. All right. Okay, so we've got our piece. My camera will focus. Perfect. Okay, so let's see what our next spot is going to be. Oops. All right, got 5 and a 4, so 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is Broken Mirrors. So Broken Mirrors is avoid 7 years of bad luck, read a book with a mirror on the cover or in the title, cracks on the cover, or a book with a reflected style cover like Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. Well, when no one is watching does not fit that. So I'm going to need to do some digging around and figure something out. I know I have at least one book that has a mirror on the cover. Whether or not it is something that I was either wanting to read or not is a whole different story. Okay, so the first thing I could find on my Kindle specifically is Caraval by Stephanie Garber, because like the red pieces look like to be reflective, like they're the same pattern just kind of like flipped to the other side. I'm kind of excited for this. I've never read Caraval. I've heard it's really amazing. Like I know it's one of Liv from Liv Reads a Latte's favorite books, one of her favorite series. And I've heard really good things. I've also heard some like not so good things, but more like people just didn't like get it as much as they, you know, heard other people liking it. But it is a chunky fantasy. It is a chunky one. So it's 407 pages. So it's gonna take me a little bit to get through this one. I'm basically going to really for the rest of this video, just I think after I get done with my work stuff today, just sit and binge read like as much as I can. I would like to finish, I would like to get started and finish when no one is watching, because I think the audiobook is really short. And then I can move on to the next Blackoween prompt that I can start off with next week. And then I'd like to then get through some of my other book that I'm working on currently that I'm about halfway through, that is for a TikTok project, because I've been working on it now for a while and I need to like power through it. So I do have some work stuff I need to do though beforehand. So we're gonna do some reading sprints here later. I don't know if I'm gonna do dice or if I'm gonna do tarot related sprints, because I really like doing those tarot sprints, which I should have the video is out by now of tarot picking my reading sprint time. That's just gone live on my channel like yesterday. Today's the 16th, it went live on the 15th. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. So I think maybe we'll do a mix. We'll do a mix of like, we'll do a dice sprint and then we'll do a tarot sprint and see how that goes. But it is Monday, so it is my Sunday. I have to go back to work tomorrow. I have one last full week of work and then I have one day of work next week before I go on vacation. So I'm super excited and I really hope that this next week flies by, because last couple weeks have kind of flown by and I've been pretty okay with that, and I just hope that this next week does the same, because I just want to go on vacation. I just want to go to California and be on vacation and not have to worry. Also, look at this cute little mug I got at Target. It's a spider web and it's a cauldron. It's so cute. I got it at Target. Because you find everything at Target that's super cute and fun and spooky and witchy. I also got my nails done finally yesterday. I got black because I have a vendor event going on next weekend that I kind of want to match the rest of my outfit, match the rest of my branding. So I went with black, because also black is like my favorite color. Y'all didn't know, I wear black like all the time for work. And I prefer how my nails look with black. Like with my pale skin, black nails looks really, really nice. I did get a couple weird looks from the girls that I go see, because they're not a fan of like black colors. Like it's just not their preference, but they were like, okay, fine. More so picking on me because they like me, not like being mean about it. Like we have a good rapport kind of thing. But they were like, really? Black? Again? Really? Like, yes, it's that time of year. I have to do it. Like it's like in my blood. I have to. So I do have an appointment though at 1 p.m. today to go over my medication with my nurse practitioner that I get my mental health meds from. So we've got that in about 40 minutes. So I'm going to do a little bit of work, what I can in that time. And I have to start today making some wax melts, and I'm very, very excited for it. It's a new product I'm working on. It's basically going to be something I'm going to reserve for my vendor event for right now, but once I basically get them rolling, essentially, then they'll be on my Etsy. But yes, we are going to be having wax melts as opposed to just also candles. So very excited. They're not really colored right now. None of my candle stuff is colored because I wanted to start off just kind of like seeing what I liked about the candles before I added in any color, anything like that. But they are dressed, and the wax melts are also going to be dressed and scented. So just like with my spell candles I have, and then I have like those are basically inspired by my spell jars. And then there's also going to be the Sabbath based ones as well. So like Samhain, Mabon, Lammas, Litha, Yule, Imbolc, Ostara, and Beltane. We're gonna have all of those ones also available. So I have a lot to make in the next week before I am done for prepping for this vendor event, because it's next Sunday, and I'm very excited. I have to still get information on that, about when I need to be there, all that stuff. So fingers crossed I get that stuff figured out. So yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna go and get some work done before my appointment, and then I'll be spending the rest of the day doing work stuff, and then also hopefully doing some reading sprints later tonight before I edit this video. So anyway, we'll talk with you guys a little bit later. I don't know where I last left you. As you can tell, last week and this week were put together because your girl got too busy. Life went lifing. Shit happened. I gotta catch y'all up on some shit. Which I'm gonna do a little bit later when I have a little bit more time, because I have some work stuff to do. I still have to finish up a couple of videos for TikTok. I still have to finish an order that I just had placed on my Etsy. And then we'll talk, because there's some major things that have happened that some of you may be very happy with to hear about. If you join in on any of the reading sprints I do, my lives, anything like that, which I just forgot. I had lives I was supposed to do tonight. We're just gonna skip them. I can't do it tonight. I got too much going on. I don't have the energy to do live readings tonight. So we're just gonna skip that. I need to cancel that real quick before I forget, because I just looked at the time and realized it was 7 o'clock and I was supposed to do my stuff today. So yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to do the Halloween ones, but for right now, not feeling it. I don't have the energy to do it. As far as my reading, I finished a book I was reading for a TikTok project. I started Caraval, which I think was when I last talked to you guys, I was going to start that. Got through like first 25 pages of that. And I picked out my next read for my next TikTok project video. That's basically it. I go on vacation here in like 3 days, and I'm super excited, but I'm gonna be working my butt off until then, because I have a lot of stuff I gotta do before I go on vacation. And like I said, I'll talk with you guys about some things that happened over this last week, because shit went down. Went down hard. Okay, so we are done with work stuff right now. I'm currently on sprints with, well, I'm not with anybody, but like I'm watching Grace sprints and just tidying up a little bit, but wanted to basically let you guys know what's going on. So as of yesterday, 21st of October, was my last day at my day job. I know that seems probably really sudden, especially since I never talked about, you know, the fact that I was thinking of leaving or anything, but this past week was a very difficult week for me. On Thursday, I was so overwhelmed and annoyed with the treatment I had been getting at work, where I decided to walk out. Thankfully, it was a day where we didn't have really many clients at all. There's one more person, I think, coming in after I left. And did I feel guilty when I first left? No. I knew that I was gonna have to find something else fairly quickly for work, But I also knew that I was coming up on my vacation next week. I was gonna have at least one more paycheck after this next one that I get tomorrow. So I have a couple weeks to really figure things out, for the most part. And I was pretty happy when I left. I mean, I was angry, mind you, because I've been so fed up with the way I've been treated at work, where sometimes being treated like I'm 5 years old and I can't handle certain things and I can't do certain things because I'm not competent enough, or I tend to forget things sometimes because I'm so overwhelmed with doing 5 million other tasks that the smaller stuff goes away. I don't know a single person in my position who would not struggle. And so I finally just got fed up and decided to leave. Mind you, my coworker had tested positive for COVID over the weekend and was forced to still come to work while still, you know, possibly contagious. May have been possibly day 5 of their COVID positivity, but they were only able to be home for 3 days after having been home for 2 days for our weekend after they had been exposed. So basically what happened was I got home and my former boss called me and said, listen, I understand you're ready to leave. I'm totally okay with that. Like, it's fine. But I do want to ask if there's any way you could come back to work for at least tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, because they were going to be the 2 busiest days of the week. And with my coworker being sick, it was going to be a struggle because my coworker cannot interact with clients. They were going to need somebody else there because they're basically, it almost as if my coworker wasn't supposed to exist at that time. My boss speaks English perfectly well, but one of my coworkers is also not from the US and doesn't speak as much English as well. So I debated going back at all because of the strain on my mental health this job has given me. But at the end of the day, I realized I was going to feel guilty if I didn't at least step up and make my last 2 days important, where I was going to be the one kind of running the show for the most part and helping them out. I had a lot of people that have told me that I shouldn't have done that, which I totally understand. Why would you go back to a place that causes you so much negativity and has been so awful to you? Why would you go back even for 2 days to help them out? You have to understand, from my perspective, I would feel incredibly guilty. I am a person where I am a people pleaser, and even if it's not to please other people, I know that if I feel any form of guilt, I cannot live with myself. I feel worse having a burden of guilt on me if there was something I could do, something I was able to do. So I felt it was more important for me to show I was a bigger person by going in and actually doing some help. And it ended up actually being that both Friday and Saturday were not nearly as busy as we were thinking it was going to. There was a lot of cancellations because this past weekend was also a big rivalry football weekend. And so a lot of people wanted to go off to that, or they were out of town and this, that, or the other. And, so it wasn't nearly as busy as we were thinking it was going to be. Nonetheless, I went back for the last 2 days, and yesterday was my last day. And next week, my PTO that I had scheduled for next week, with going on vacation and going to California for about 5 days, is still going to be upheld. It's still going to be catered to. At this point, I don't quite know what I'm going to do. I am applying for jobs. I actually am also applying to do substitute teaching. I know it seems like a really odd thing. I've talked about, I think before, how I wouldn't necessarily go back and go and do teaching of any kind. I never wanted to really be a teacher at maybe when I was younger, but as an adult I never really wanted to get into teaching. But what I've learned about myself in the last year of being at this former workplace is that I'm a lot stronger than I think I am. I've gone through a lot in the last year mentally that I think it's made me a lot stronger. And I think that it's time for me to do something that maybe I never thought I could do, or never thought I was meant to do. And at least try it, because at the very least, you don't have to be a substitute teacher every single day of your life. You definitely can come and go as you please kind of thing. So tomorrow I need to call my former university to get my official transcripts and have them sent to me, or at least get the ball rolling on that, so that by the time I get back, hopefully I will have them. On November 1st, I have a workshop where I have to take in my paperwork for these substitute teaching positions. And also Tuesday, when I get paid, I need to go and get my fingerprints done, because I don't have any fingerprints in the system as of now. So I need to go get that done before especially I leave for vacation, because I would like for that to be done before I get back. Yeah. So if something else work-wise comes up, I get a better opportunity doing something else, great. If not, I'm fine with doing substitute teaching, substitute paraproing, substitute secretary, working in the kitchen, whatever basically is needed. I'm willing to do pretty much anything in a school. I don't quite know, like I said, what my life is going to be. I'm also still working very hard on getting my apothecary business up and running. Today, I just launched 14 wax melts that are all basically the same as what my spell candles are currently. They're just, wax melt versions in case people can't burn candles in like college dorm rooms or apartments or something like that. So I just launched those today. I also had my first order on my Etsy store today. I've had 2 orders previously, but they were family that just bought from me because they didn't have access to my Etsy. And they also specifically had customized ideas that they wanted when I didn't offer customization as of yet. So this is technically my 3rd order, but my first order through Etsy, which is insane. I was so excited to see it come through. I was incredibly touched. And I also went today to a psychic fair with an apothecary that I really, really love out here in my area. They had a psychic fair, and I had a reading from the owner who goes by the Oracle. And she told me a lot of very interesting things about my spirit team and my ancestor team. And the fact that there very well could be a new entity coming into my life that is going to push me to the depths of my soul, the depths of my mind. And I'm in this place where I'm accepting it. At one point, I had asked my guides to help me with getting me to where I want, giving me the things that I need to put me where I am needed in this life. And they provided. They gave me a reason. They finally gave me the push, I think, to force myself out on my own and figure it out. I've always been somebody who I think has been very coddled, or I've coddled myself in a lot of ways with my life. And so I think that it's really good for me to have to flounder, as much as I hate that. I hate the idea of there being all this chaos and not having a set direction and not having a set plan of what to do. But in this moment in my life, I'm more content with it, which is very odd. I'm 26 years old, and this is the first time that I'm dealing with something so chaotic in my life that I actually feel okay with it. Because if anybody knows anything about anxiety, it is not something that you want to invite chaos into. You do not want to invite chaos to an anxious person, because they already are anxious about the things that could go wrong and will go wrong. And this is the complete antithesis of what an anxious person wants. But you know what? I look forward to the challenge. Like I said, I'm still applying to places. I'm still applying to a lot of different things, but at the very least, I know that substitute teaching is something I can do. I am more than capable of handling children. I am more than capable of doing what needs to be done. And I've had a lot of support from friends, from family, And I think that for the longest time, I never thought I really had that. Is it the best of circumstances? No. Am I going to have to really dig deep to figure out what I need to do? Yes. But that's a part of every person's path. I think at some point you have to hit rock bottom to realize when you've hit rock bottom and that there's only up from there. So I'm going to be trying my hardest to continue with making content and, you know, for YouTube, for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, for my business, for my YouTube stuff. I want to do more of these things and the creative things that I love to do and build myself and build my brand and build my career on becoming a social content creator, a social media content creator of sorts. But at the same time, that's not a very profitable thing when at least you're still in the early stages of it, kind of thing. And I think that at this point in my life, even though I've been on YouTube for going on 8 years now, I'm still new at a lot of things. I'm still new at TikTok. I'm still new at, you know, posting things, especially from a business perspective. I'm still new at figuring these things out. I've only been doing this now for almost 4 months. And while I've learned a lot, I feel like I'm still learning about what it is that consistently I'm able to do. The scheduling of things. For instance, today I made a lot of posts. On Sundays, I tend to use as my content creating day where I'm making videos for YouTube, for TikTok. I'm making my Facebook and Instagram posts to schedule throughout the week. So that they're kind of done and over with. I don't have to worry about them, and then they just go out when they're done. And then TikTok, I have to actually edit the videos and put them out during that day. Which thankfully I don't have a lot going on, especially with this week because I'm gonna be on vacation. Like I only have maybe 3 videos I'm planning on putting out, which is fine. Or actually, I think I have more like 5 because I have a couple saved in my drafts that I could use. But for the most part, I'm taking it easy as best I can to enjoy my vacation, enjoy spending time with my friends and going and doing things because I want to do that. I want to be able to enjoy my time. But yeah, so that's my life update. It's been kind of a wild couple of weeks, which is why I haven't really been able to film very much in this last couple of weeks. But I know you guys understand. You guys, especially the guys that, you know, see me on sprints all the time with Bree and Brandy and Adrian, and those of you that come in and join my live discussions for my NK Jemison read along. I know you guys understand what's going on, that I have a life, that I have things that I do, just like everybody else does. I'm very thankful for those of you that have watched my content. If you've been here for a month, a week, if you're just joining us today, if you've been here for a year or since the very beginning, I really do appreciate all of you. This is one of those things where I don't want to cry because I don't want to cry on camera. But at this point too, I don't know if I really have any tears to shed, because I think I'm finally at a point right now in my life where I'm content and don't need to cry. I think that leaving my job the way that I did was what I needed to really kick myself in the ass to actually focus on what it is I want to do. So with that, I'm going to quickly edit my to-do list for tomorrow, because I do have a few things I need to do. Like tomorrow, for instance, like I said, I have to call to get my prescription. No, I had to call to get my transcript from my former university sent out to me. And then Tuesday, I'm gonna hopefully go get my fingerprints done. And then Wednesday, I leave for California for several days. And I'm so thrilled. I'm gonna film some of it as I can, but I really would like to be able to enjoy a lot of it. so you might not get everything. I'm trying to see if I can still go to Octavia E. Butler's grave, but we kind of have to see how Thursday pans out. Thursday is a day where Robert and I specifically, because our friends are going to be busy during the day with work and with classes, that he and I are just going to go exploring. We're going to borrow our friend's car and just go do some exploring around California, or Los Angeles specifically. So, God, I'm so excited. This is where I will probably cry, so I'm gonna go. I'm just so excited, I can't wait. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope that things are going okay. I hope you have a great rest of your day, wherever you are. And I will just see you guys in my next video. Bye, everyone.